Sounds like Brandon's here.
Hey, gentlemen, it's time to launch our new initiative. I'd like you to meet our two new investigators, Andy Bustamante and Paul Beeben.
Good morning. Paul.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Hey, Travis. Paul. Nice to meet you.
These are the new members of our team. We're anxious to launch efforts and have a lot to discuss as we take our investigation beyond Skinwalker Ranch to some of these other sites of interest. We appreciate your qualifications. We have two professionals here that I think are a true complement to our effort. Andy is a graduate of the Air Force Academy, former CIA investigator and retired Air Force. Paul Beeben is an Emmy Award-winning journalist with ABC and PBS and brings a level of expertise and depth to the investigation and documenting really what we will be engaging with the sites as we proceed forward.
That is impressive.
Well, we're excited to join the effort and sort of see how all of our skill sets fit together and you know, get started.
Well, Eric and I have been talking about this for a long time, and we've been kind of running this idea by Brandon that Skinwalker Ranch, while it is a unique place, it might not be the only place around the globe that has a very interesting phenomena to be observed. But our bandwidth is getting filled with all of the research and investigation here. We need a task force, a special ops team that can help inform what we're doing here and maybe what our next experiments will be. So your goal is to find the places that have the weird stories, take scientific measurements, collect data, and even poke the hornet's nest and see if any hornets fly out. We've got to see what's going on, and it will help us understand is Skinwalker Ranch isolated, very unique, nothing else is like it? Or is it connected to something bigger? And I think that's what you guys are going to help us figure out.
So the ranch itself has actually had reports of UFO sightings, orb sightings, strange creatures.
The backstory of Bradshaw Ranch is fascinating. Bob Bradshaw was really an old school cowboy who ended up turning this place into a movie set. Elvis movies were filmed there. I mean, this place was a bustling scene. It was a home. It was a working film set. At the same time, he and his family were experiencing, you know, all kinds of high strangeness in a time when it just really wasn't spoken of. I mean, he had a business to run out there.
We saw this spaceship. They were traveling fast down that hillside and right into the ranch. It was really a spectacular thing to see.
Talk about a perfect test bed that seems to be a sister location to Skinwalker Ranch. One thing that Bradshaw Ranch seems to have in common with Skinwalker Ranch is the diversity of activity and phenomena.
We're going to start with the data. We're going to run experiments out there. We're going to see if we can measure these phenomena. And we're going to talk to as many people as we can and try to get the facts of the backstory.
We've been able to establish contact with the previous owner of the ranch, John Bradshaw. His son Mason is with him as well, and they're the first people we plan on talking to when we land on the ground.
Well, I'm absolutely intrigued by this, and I can't wait to see what you guys find and report back.
Just filled with anticipation. Wishing you the best of luck.
Yeah, good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
So we're off. We'll let you know what we find.
We've got everything set up. I'm ready to go. You guys ready to go?
Let's get to it.
Absolutely. Andy and Paul have brought in Skinwalker Ranch laser experts, Tim Anderson and Jeremy Fenton, to try to stimulate an anomaly at the ridge where Bob Bradshaw spotted a UFO. They've also set up their own tech to help them monitor the area during the laser light experiment.
I'm going to arm the UFO DAPs so they start scanning the sky. After that, we want you to make sure that we hit the FLIR. Once we have all three devices rolling, we turn it over to you guys. Okay, ready to rock?
Yes.
We're live on Hunter, and we're live on Tracker. Both UFO DAPs are scanning.
Temp steady so far. Our high is 36.8, low 22.4.
Laser's ready. Let's do it. All right, everybody, here we go. 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Nice.
Look at that. Remember, we've gotten reports not just in the sky, but also in the woods.
Yep.
In the wash. We've got to keep our eyes all around.
As we're carrying out this experiment, we're trying to paint this hillside with energy, trying to recreate or trigger something along the lines of what Bob Bradshaw saw. What is the range of that?
These lasers are good for about 1 mile to 2 miles. It all depends on the atmosphere. We don't really have any clouds, so it's going to continue into space.
Paul, I'm going to start scanning some of these frequencies. We're expecting to see some UHF traffic, but anything that's anomalous, this will pick up and we'll be able to hone in and actually listen to the signal.
Got it.
So this is the kind of spike that we're looking for. That's interesting. That shows us an active transmission. See how tall it is?
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if we can't identify the right bandwidth to actually listen into the signal.
So you're saying that's a local transmission of some kind that we're picking up?
Correct. You hear it? Come on. Come on. I'm going to take this 1 hertz at a time. We're zooming in on the signal. There she is. 1.6 gigahertz.
1.6 is what they see at Skinwalker.
Correct.
We're not sending anything.
No, we are not transmitting that. We are picking up the signal. You see that?
It just did it
like
again.
A pulse.
Yeah.
Look at that. There it is again.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the biggest one we've seen so far.
The fact that we're seeing this transmission when we were not seeing this transmission earlier is significant. This mysterious 1.6 gigahertz signal pops up again and again during active experimentations on Skinwalker Ranch.
Hey, it's here. We got that 1.6 thing, but we're clearly getting this signal.
Now, what's interesting is a signal of this strength, 1.6 gigahertz, is an interstellar communication signal. Anybody on Earth who is a professional treats 1.6 as a privileged frequency that's only used for communication from Earth to space and space to Earth.
It's coming to us from space.
Is
that right?
That's right. The only thing I can think of. These are radio frequencies that are available only to the military to co-op.
So could it be a satellite?
If it was a satellite signal, it would come and go. It's not energy efficient for a satellite to constantly transmit. Instead, they have scheduled times and scheduled locations where they transmit. That way, as they go around the Earth, they send their signal, receiver picks it up, and then they can store energy for the next rotation. I can't help but think that the lasers have had something to do with this, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know what else it could be. We are pumping all this light energy out onto the hillside with our lasers, and the spectrum analyzer is picking up all kinds of crazy frequencies. The same place that Bob Bradshaw saw that UFO so many years ago. Something has to be causing all that to happen. Is it the lasers? It's certainly a possibility.
With so many anomalies happening at the same time, it's hard to keep up with them all. I kind of want to just embrace this.
What was that? Another one?
Right there. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
What is that?
That's the UFO dap doing its job. That small square, that small red square is where it's zoomed
where
in.
it just tracked.
Oh, it just left it. Oh, it's
Now
it's
the
on
other
Hunter.
one.
Check it out. Look over here. Oh, look at that. It's getting more intense.
Look at how bright it is. What is that thing?
That is zoomed in on an object in the sky that fits the definition for an anomaly.
I'm freaking out. Look at that thing.
And it passed through Hunter and into Tracker's line of sight. And it was recorded.
All right, so this is the hit that Hunter picked up. Flickers in and out.
Oh, look at that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can you scroll back and slow that down? There it is. Look at that shape. What is that?
I think it picks it up right about here.
Let's bring up the second camera.
Yep, same thing on the other camera. I mean, the movement is faster than a plane would be, and those lights are not flickering in the same pattern. I mean, you were in the Air Force. You ever seen anything that has this sort of light pattern?
What I know, Paul, is that aircraft are required to have 2 colored lights, a green light and a red light. If they're landing, they have landing lights, which are a bright white light. What we just saw had no colored lights, and it had multiple flickering white lights only.
Like it's tumbling and those lights are flickering as it goes around. When it's frozen there are 2 distinct sources of light, and then when it flickers, it is very bright. Boom.
It's almost explosive.
It's pulsing. This is a UAP. There's no question about it.
All at the same site where Bob, your dad, reported having an alien spacecraft hover over his head.
I have come into this entire experience with an open mind. I am a skeptic by nature, I'm a skeptic by training, it's part of my profession. However, when you have an experience like we've had, you have to step back and sort of reevaluate all your assumptions. We could be onto something here that's really extraordinary.